Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be with you. We are reaching the 12th day, 12th section of the Quran, and we find in this section a very important story. In fact, it's very rare to find in the Quran one chapter when you have a whole story put all together. If you look at the stories of the Moses, of Ibrahim, peace be upon them, it's here and there. It's cyclically, in a cycle you can find them coming back here and there. In Surah Yusuf, alayhi salam, Joseph, you find everything in one chapter, the whole story. And if we look at the story itself, you have lots of teachings, and they are very important. Many things that are said. The first thing which is very important is Yaqub, peace be upon him, having his son and losing his son, and the scholars are saying it's between 18 years and 30-40 years he hasn't seen, and he was putting his trust in God, and he was sure, out of love, out of trust, that his son will come back. And he came back at the end, but this was the test of life, that he was a prophet, he was a messenger, and he lost his son for so many years, and he came back. This is one. The second is the story of Yusuf, Joseph, being persecuted, and in fact his brothers trying to kill him even. And they were doing this out of what? Because they were doing this out of love. They felt that he was more loved by their father than themselves. So they wanted to get rid of him. And this was the way they wanted to try to come close to their father. So at the beginning, it's all about a love story. It's out of love that they acted so negatively, out of jealousy. So you can see here the teachings that are so important in the fact that be careful with the way you are judging the people. This is what happened. And at the end, he will forgive them. And he will come back to them, not rejecting them. And then you come to his own story. He went through ordeals. He went through tests. He was put in jail. He was, and the wife of his boss was trying to seduce him. He said no, respecting and sticking to his principles. And he said, "As-sijnu ahabbu ilayya." So I prefer to be put in jail and to stay in jail instead of doing things that are against my principles. So he stuck to his principles, and he had some very important skills when it came to interpreting dreams, and he helped the people to get to understand it. So he was in jail, and this is where the jail was better for him, and he came after this in a position of power. And sometimes you have to get this. You have to get through this story that sometimes you go through ordeals and to go to tests, and this is helping you. You might find freedom in jail, and you go in jail thinking that this is the bad thing, and it could be exactly the opposite. The whole story, and at the end, he welcomes his father and his brothers, and he forgives his brothers, and he just show respect to his parents. This is a very powerful story. We have to think about it because everything is there for us today to try to be consistent with our principles and to understand that sometimes bad things could be positive at the end of the story, at the end of the day. That's important. Remember, don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them. Life is fragile. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.